We are in Heinyaa, Kwáan, up in our smokehouse, and today we are going to learn about how to make Indian cheese. Indian cheese is smoked and fermented sockeye or coho eggs. It almost has the consistency of a thick jam if I make it the right way. The fermenting process is between 7 to 10 days, depending on who is making it, I guess. Everybody makes a little bit different. For me, the brine is just salt and water. Some people do it different, which is the case for anything. Like I said, I don't put a lot of salt because my dad doesn't like things that are salty. It's just enough salt in there to make my potato float, barely. And then I know I've had enough salt in there. I will put the eggs into the bucket of brine. I stir them up and I let them sit for about 5 minutes, not very long, while my eggs are brining. I spray my racks down with Pam spray so that the eggs don't stick. It just seems daunting at first because it's like, oh, fermented, but it's really not. I will take them out into a container and I get them right into the smokehouse. Oh, that's a nice one. I like these bigger ones. I just start laying them out onto my racks inside. What I like to do is put all the bigger ones up towards the front and put the smaller eggs to the back where it won't get a lot of heat and smoke because those will be done quicker. After that is done, I turn the fan on and I leave it until it gets a little bit of a tackiness onto the eggs.
Well, your family would.
Our family does all of our fish work together, and we all have our own jobs. And so one of the things that my dad does is man the smokehouse and start the fire. And slowly I'm learning how to do those things because he's always constantly saying, you know, I won't be here forever. You need to learn how. And that's, I guess, one of the reasons why I got started on these types of fun adventures of harvesting and putting up our traditional foods.
Get a good bed of coals, and then I like to put a little bit of dry on there and then put the green on, or the wet, however you want to look at it.
We'll close everything up, and it takes about a day and a half of smoke. It really depends on your preference. This is where it all will change. People will do it different. I wait until you can clearly see that it has changed a nice color and it's nice and smoky looking. And when you touch it, it's firm, but it's still a little squishy for me. That is the consistency that I like, that I know my dad likes. Different people in this town make it different. Some of it is a little bit more dry, so they'll smoke it a little bit longer and it'll not be as spreadable. I'll take the eggs out of the smokehouse and I'll rinse it in just plain water. And once that's done, then I start to grind them up and put them in a bowl. Once that's all done, I usually like to give it a good stir. You want to spread it out so there's no air that will get in. You just spread it out nice and even. You just want to make sure that no air can like really get in it. You want it to have a nice layer on top. And I imagine that has a lot to do with like mold and how you're setting it out for such a long time. Next is covering it, so I will take my paper towel. And tie it with string. And we leave it for about 7 to 10 days. We're about 5 days into the fermenting process. We still have like 2 to 5 more days left. So we'll take a look at it. Oh, nice. That's looking good. It's changed the color now. It will create this harder top when it's ready. And you throw that away, and everything underneath it is what you're using as your cheese. And then you put it all into containers and you throw it in the freezer and you start gifting it out. Or you feast on it, like my dad will. He'll take it right into the house and he'll eat it right away.